Hello friends, welcome to the Craft Castle and Merry Christmas. I am just joking. When I upload this, it'll be way before Christmas. We are gonna learn how to make some buffalo check HTV. I'm so excited about this. It's just like a little hack that I have for you. We're gonna do a little bit of design work, a little bit of sublimation, and we are gonna have some fun making this sweatshirt. Well, actually, I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt, but I already did it in a sweatshirt to show you how stinking cute this is. Okay, so let's get started. All we are going to need is obviously a t-shirt, some HTV. I have all glitter HTV, red and black. This is from Polytape. And then you're gonna need design space and obviously a sublimation printer as well, because we are gonna do a little bit of sublimation. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna make myself a little bit small. I have a brand new window and design space. You're going to need that, but we're gonna work on the sublimation portion first because that print always takes forever. So open up a window of any type of search engine that you have and put in your search engine buffalo check pattern and then go over into images. Luckily, the very first one that I wanted to use is like right at the top, so we didn't even have to worry about trying to find a cute buffalo check. When you have this, right click and do open new image. And another window will pop up. I already have it right here, so it's the same thing. Okay, with your snipping tool, I'm gonna just zoom this in just a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. With your snipping tool, it's called a snipping tool if you're on a Windows, or it's a screenshot if you're on a Mac and you just wanna take a screenshot of just the buffalo check. So it's Command Shift and 4 will give you the little aim thing that I don't even know what this is, but it's your like aiming bot. That's like essentially we're taking a screenshot. And you don't want to come up here, and it's going to be hard to tell, but you see how we're just a little bit over into the left of the pattern. We want to go just on the inside. So make sure that you put your aimbot on the inside of your pattern, and then you want to go all the way over. And when you let go of your box, you want to make sure you're not outside of the pattern or underneath the pattern. You want to make sure that you're just only doing the pattern. This is key for making sure you have a seamless pattern for sublimation prints. Okay, so I have it pretty much set up, and we're just gonna let that go into your desktop or wherever you save your screenshot. You're just gonna need a word processor. Any one that's on your computer is fine. You don't have to do anything fancy. We have Pages if you're on a Mac. Here is my already done sublimation print. So I'm just gonna work on the second page right here. We're just gonna take the screenshot that you took. It should be on your desktop if that's where you save it, and just drag it into your Pages or your word processor. And for this one, I'm gonna leave it the size that I want because I don't want it to be, if you stretch this out, you're gonna have less check. So I'm going to just keep it the way it is. I'm gonna make sure this is on stay on page, and then I'm gonna copy and paste this. And all you're gonna wanna do is line up. We can zoom in and make sure that everything is lined up. The lines, if you see how you're gonna be able to see it's like off, you don't want that. So we're just gonna make sure that it's all lined up like that. This is like super easy. And then when you have the one side, you have this leftover. So do Shift and click on both of those, copy, paste, and then we're just gonna drag this over here. Now, if you leave it like this, you see how you have double black and in the stripes. Just drag this over to the left and line this back up. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna click on out of that. Okay, you can keep it like this if you wanted to. I rearranged it to where this right here is not like a solid square. And the only reason for that is I was afraid that when we go to cut this later, that one letter is gonna have like a solid square. So what I did was I select the 4 pieces and I kind of move this around to where on the sides, see how there's like not a full square, and then on the top, there's like almost a full square on the top. So I just kind of move this around to where it's not a full square on the edges. And that I feel like is important. I don't know. I left it the way it is. And then on here, on my final print, there isn't one that is like heavy on one print. So I feel like that is like an important step. Okay, and then when you're done, generally when you do anything sublimation, you have to print in reverse. You don't have to do that here. So you just want to print. I'm going to send this to my EcoTank sublimation printer. I have it converted. And then always make sure that you're printing in high quality. So go to media and then click on best and photocopy, photo matte paper, and then make sure it's best and then press print. I'm not going to do that, only because I already have a print. This is how much of the print that you're going to end up using for a t-shirt. So I'm not going to reprint another print because I already have it. So go ahead and print that, and then we'll work on the actual t-shirt design. And then by the time we're done doing that, your printer should already be done printing. So we're going to go into design space. Here is our blank design space design. Okay, I'm gonna go into images. Yes, I used a Cricut image for this. I'm just gonna put in Merry Christmas. Then we're gonna search for the one that I ended up using. There it is right here. And because I have Cricut access, it is free for me, or if you don't have it, it would be 99 cents. And then we're gonna press add to canvas. This is going to pop up. I'm gonna leave it the size of what it is right now. We can resize this after we're done, but just for right now, I'm gonna leave it, or I'm gonna make it just a little bit smaller, but I don't wanna make it too small. I want you to be able to see what we're doing here. Okay, because this is going to be two colors, this was a red glitter HTV and this is black glitter HTV, we're going to need to make 2 copies of this, but you don't want to cut out both of them on both colors because then it would be wasting material. So what we're going to do is copy and paste. So we have one, the same thing. We're just duplicating the same thing at the very top, and then press contour over here on the right. And I am just going to hide all the contours. The only thing that's left is this Christmas. That's right here. I'm trying to work on Mary. So what I'm going to do is click the M's or the M-E-R-R-Y, everything in Mary. And then I'm also going to click Christmas. So then everything is deleted besides the word Mary, and then click out of it. So then for this one, we're going to click it and then press contour. And then we're going to click Mary again, M-E-R-R-Y. And then we're going to click out of it. So what is left is Christmas. And then for this one, the design work is like, it's done. That's it. Okay, so for Mary, we're gonna do it in red HTV. And then for Christmas, we're gonna make it in black. Okay, I always say when we're working on t-shirts, make sure you have your t-shirt on hand because this is when we're gonna resize it. Not all t-shirts sizes, right? They're not all the same. So this is where you're gonna need to know how big of a decal we are going to make it. So I always have one of these fabric measuring tools and I measure out the chest area of the shirt. So this one looks like I can be no bigger than 14 inches. Because that's 14 inches is pretty large, I always like to do it 11.5. I feel like that fills up the space really well for an adult t-shirt. Up to an adult large. Anything over a large, you're gonna have to have a larger decal, but like an adult small, medium, and large, I always do it at 11.5. Now, if you're doing a kid size, you're obviously gonna need to make that smaller. So that's the important step for this. Okay, I'm gonna have both. I clicked on both of these, just taking my cursor and clicking on both, and I'm gonna make sure that it's locked up here, and I'm gonna put 11.5. That just make sure that everything in this design is 11.5 inches. Then all you're gonna do is select all of this, flip it horizontally. There we go. Okay, now what you wanna do is cut it. That's it. Okay, here's the deal is when you cut this out of HTV, first we are gonna cut the black glitter HTV just like this, and then we're gonna cut red glitter HTV for Mary. When you're done cutting it in red HTV, you are then gonna put this on your Cricut mat and you're gonna recut the word Mary. Yes, recut the word Mary. I promise it was like the easiest way to align this. Go ahead and do that. And then when we're done cutting, come back to me and I'll show you how to put this entire t-shirt together. Okay, so what you should have now is a cutout piece of black glitter HTV, also a cutout with red glitter HTV, your now sublimation print that is cut out in Mary. Here is the leftover of that. Make sure your heat press is being set. For glitter HTV, especially if you're using poly tape, it doesn't take a whole lot of heat. So I'm gonna set, or heat and time, so I'm gonna set my heat press to 350 degrees, and this is for the sublimation print. So now all you need to do is weed it. Now you could use a vinyl pick if you needed to, but poly tape HTV is super easy to weed. So we're just gonna roll this right off. Even the regular HTV feels like a breeze, just like this. Okay, there is your finished HTV designs all weeded. I am just going to do what I call is dry fit. So I'm gonna put these two together. It's not gonna be forever. Take a little bit of tape and just put them together. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the middle of my decal. So now that it's taped into place and that's what it's going to look like, I'm just going to fold this in half and make sure that the left and the right are together. And then I'm gonna pinch the top and pinch the bottom of my decal just to make sure. See how there is like, it's gonna be hard to see, but in the carrier sheet, there's gonna be like a little pinch in the carrier sheet right here. And right here, that is the exact middle of my entire decal. Then what I'm going to do is take my shirt, or if you have a sweatshirt or whatever, I'm gonna fold this in half down, and I'm gonna take my heat press and I'm going to press a line down. You don't need to do too much. We're just gonna press it, okay? This is also gonna get out any of the wrinkles in your shirt. Fold this back open. See how there is now a line directly down the center of your shirt? This is the actual middle of the shirt. So then we're gonna take this. I always like to do 3 fingers from the bottom of the collar when we're working with an adult shirt. And then I'm gonna just line up the bend in my HTV decal with the bend in the shirt. And then same thing right here. The bend is over here to the left a little bit. And then I'm just going to slide this over. So that is what your shirt is going to look like. Now, make sure it's on your pressing mat. Okay, because the carrier sheet, this carrier sheet is larger and it's in over or underneath the word Mary, what I'm gonna do is just keep my hand where Mary is and peel this back up. I'm gonna slide the word Christmas off, and we're just going to press just the word Mary for right now. I have just a little bit of parchment paper. If you have one of those Teflon sheets, you could do that too. And we're just gonna press this. Again, this Polytape HTV doesn't need a whole lot of pressing. Plus, we're gonna do a really good press at the very end with the sublimation print, so you don't need a whole lot of time. Pull this off, and it does look like it's lifting as I'm pulling it off. That's fine because we're gonna be pressing it a lot more. So we just wanna get it kind of stuck on there just a little bit. There's that. Okay, now with Christmas, we're gonna line up Christmas back to where it originally was, making sure that the spacing with the T and the H right here looks good and about the same, like the placement. Take my parchment paper and do the same thing we did with Mary. Okay, woohoo, this is hot. Now we wanna add some buffalo check. Okay, this is a very important step. You need some heat resistant tape, and we need to line the M with the M, making sure that it's not overlapping or crooked, because you wanna make sure the entire letter is covered. So we're just gonna use some tape and we're gonna tape this on. Same thing with the R, we're just gonna go through and make sure everything is lined up. Okay, because we're working with sublimation, we want to make sure and make a sandwich. So I'm going to take my parchment paper that I was using, and I put it in between the 2 pieces, or the 2 layers of my clothes. So this is going in the inside portion of my shirt. There we go. We have a straggling sublimation print. Make sure that's off. Okay, that is it for that. Making sure that it's still lined up perfect. I like that. We have another piece of parchment paper. We're going to put that on top, and then we are going to press this at 360 for 40 seconds. Okay, once done, we're just going to move that off. Okay, before you peel off the word Mary, you want to flip this up and just peek at it. See how there isn't anything over that side, and it's just, we need to press it a little bit more. If there is nothing peeking at you on the HTV, then we need to keep pressing it. Okay, doing the same thing. We're just going to peek to see if the sublimation print is now on the HTV. It's on there. It looks cute. Okay, so when you are satisfied and you think that you've gotten the perfect print, all you need to do is just peel this off, and look at that. Now your HTV is buffalo check. Look at that, how cute. So there is a little bit of bleed right here because we're using 100% cotton shirt. This is just gonna wash on out, but everything else is so stinking cute. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to make, and I will see you later.